If you had fallen asleep alone in the wild 5,000 years ago, there's a good chance you simply wouldn't have woken up, and your ancestors knew this better than anyone. Sleeping alone wasn't just uncomfortable for early humans, it was one of the fastest ways to die. And this single fact shaped almost everything about how ancient humans lived. To understand why, you have to understand exactly how dangerous a sleeping human really is. Asleep, you can't hear well, you can't react fast, you can't defend yourself. For every predator nearby, you are, quite simply, the easiest meal in the entire forest. Now multiply that vulnerability by hours. Early humans didn't have locked doors, alarm systems, or flashlights. Darkness meant total exposure, every single night. So they solved this problem the only way that actually worked. They stopped sleeping alone. Ever. Groups of 20 to 50 people didn't just live together during the day. At night, they packed in close, bodies touching, breathing audible, forming a wall of awareness around each other. This wasn't about comfort. It was a functioning security system built entirely out of human bodies. Here's the part that sounds almost too clever for prehistoric humans to have figured out. Not everyone in the group slept the same way. Some individuals were naturally lighter sleepers than others, quicker to wake, more easily disturbed by sound. Researchers now believe this variation wasn't random. It may have been an evolved trait, distributed across the group like a built-in rotating watch. A group where everyone slept in perfectly deep, identical sleep was a group with zero warning if danger approached. A group with a mix of light and deep sleepers had, effectively, a live-in security team, without anyone having to suffer the misery of staying up all night on purpose. Evolution didn't need to assign anyone the job of guard. It simply made sure enough people in every group were naturally wired that way.
There's also something deeply physical happening when humans sleep close together, something beyond just safety. Shared body heat in a group setting could mean the difference between survival and death during freezing nights, especially in Ice Age climates. Temperatures during parts of the Ice Age in Europe could drop low enough to kill an unprotected, isolated person within hours. Communal sleeping wasn't a lifestyle choice. It was thermal engineering, built entirely out of human bodies packed close enough to create their own warmth. More bodies in an enclosed space meant a higher ambient temperature. Simple physics, applied by instinct, long before anyone understood the science behind it. And this wasn't just about individual survival either. It was about the survival of the entire group as a single unit. Predators, when they hunt, look for one specific thing above all else: separation. A wildebeest at the edge of a herd is an easy target. One in the center is protected simply by the bodies surrounding it. The same logic applied directly to humans. A lone sleeping human was an isolated target. A camp full of sleeping humans, packed close together, was something far riskier for any predator to approach. If one person woke up and made noise, the entire group would likely wake with them. That collective response was exactly the outcome predators are evolved to avoid. This is why solitary confinement, even today, is recognized as one of the most psychologically damaging experiences a human being can go through. Our brains are not built for prolonged isolation, especially not during the vulnerable hours of sleep. That aversion runs far deeper than simple preference. Sleeping near others wasn't just about physical safety either. It carried a psychological function that mattered just as much for survival. Anxiety and hypervigilance, the state of constantly scanning for danger, burns enormous amounts of mental and physical energy. Sleeping in a group allowed individuals to actually relax deeply, because the responsibility of watching for danger was distributed across many people instead of carried alone. Deep, restorative sleep matters enormously for memory, immune function, and physical recovery. Things early humans desperately needed, given the physical demands of their daily lives. A person who slept alone, tense and half alert all night, every single night, would have been at a serious long-term disadvantage compared to someone who slept deeply within a group. Archaeological evidence supports this pattern going back extraordinarily far. Communal sleeping platforms have been found at sites over 2,000 years old. At Border Cave in South Africa, researchers uncovered evidence of large shared bedding areas made from grasses and leaves, clearly built for multiple people at once. This wasn't an occasional arrangement. It was standard practice, repeated across generations, across continents, across thousands of years. Even the layout of ancient caves and shelters reflects this. Sleeping areas are consistently found clustered close together, near the fire, near the entrance, near each other.
The entrance itself mattered enormously. A single defensible opening meant the whole group only had to watch one direction for danger. Every sleeping arrangement early humans built, whether in caves, huts, or open camps, was engineered around this same core principle: never be caught alone in the dark. This deep, ancient instinct hasn't disappeared. It's simply been buried under modern comforts like locked doors and electric lights. That uneasy feeling many people still get sleeping in a completely empty house or camping totally alone in the wild isn't irrational. It's ancestral memory. Your body still remembers a time when isolation at night was one of the most dangerous situations a human being could be in. Every person alive today descends from ancestors who slept close to others, who trusted the group, who never let themselves be caught alone when the sun went down. The ones who wandered off, who slept apart, who trusted isolation over community, their line simply didn't continue long enough to matter. So the next time you feel a quiet pull toward company, toward not wanting to be alone at night, remember where that feeling actually comes from. It's not weakness. It's not neediness. It's a 300,000-year-old survival instinct still quietly running in the background of your life. You were never built to face the dark completely alone, and somewhere deep inside, you still know that.